Hey guys, we are in the storage room today because the studio's too loud. Alright, so we're gonna start off today. What's up guys? Hey, Katie, would you don't mind closing that door? I'm gonna fix it back whenever I leave. Thanks. So we're gonna start today on a quick 1 minute of some child's pose. Getting the lats and the rear shoulders. Nice, comfortable pose, and this is where you can always come to if you need a break during a pose. You can pause the routine and pick it back up, or you can just take a break, rest the hips back, rest the forehead on the ground, and relax in child's pose. So we're gonna just start with a minute here, guys. Our next pose today, I remember this one on the fly here. I'm going to start off in a twisted lizard, I believe is the name. They're all crazy names, cool names. All right. I'm going to pick up on this back leg by the ankle, pushing out on this front knee. Feeling the stretch in this hip flexor, outside of the hip. Trying to pull the ankle to the butt just a little bit. And get a good rotation in the spine, all right? If you can't pick that back leg up, you're simply gonna put this hand here, open the chest up, looking up this way, and get a stretch in the back and the shoulders. All right, guys, we're gonna just hold this for a minute. Breathing in and out at the same pace. You can pick it 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out, up to 8 seconds in, 8 seconds out. The key is that you breathe in through the nose and out through the nose only if you can, in through the nose and out through the mouth if you need to, and then having the same amount of time you breathe in and out. So I'm doing about 5 seconds in and out throughout this routine. Be sure to follow that throughout the routine as much as you can. Front leg, the knee is going to come over the toe. Let the hips drop down toward the ground. Okay, awesome. Go ahead and switch sides. Left foot up, right knee down, hips are in line. Very similar position we're in for a lot of poses. Grab that right ankle. This hand on the ground, push out on this front knee. We're holding this for a minute. And if you need to, just like I just did, if you realize you're not getting the stretch in the inner thighs and the legs that you need, just move that back leg back. guys ever want to stretch, y'all can jump in one of the videos. They're for my clients. It's a free YouTube channel. Yeah.
Maybe next time.
Yeah. All right, guys. So now to continue, just going into some nice uncomfortable positions right out of the gate. This may be easy for you, Rob Castillo. If you're watching, still can't pronounce your last name, but I'm sure you're just sitting right on your butt because your knee mobility is awesome. So for you, it's good to maintain that mobility. Just like getting into a deep squat once a day for a minute will ensure that you can always get into that position as you age. For those of us with tight knees, maybe it's ankle and knee mobility for you, we're gonna try our best to sit back on the butt, and we're gonna stretch the upper body. You can use a shirt or a band or anything, a towel. I'm just gonna grab it with both hands for our classic tricep and shoulder stretch. Obviously, the closer you try to get your hands, the deeper the stretch. I'm just getting into the position, not really stretching it too deeply. I'm gonna hold this for a minute and focus on your breathing here, guys. If you want to, as you get a better stretch, you can sheet up on that towel so that the hands come closer together. Remember to soften in the knees and the hips and the back and everywhere. Sitting down into this saddle pose. The more you sit up tall, the more everything's gonna stretch. Very important to stick to your breathing here. Awesome, guys. If you want to, follow me. I'm gonna go back to a child's pose just for 20 or 30 seconds here. Just to give the knees a break from sitting directly on top. You can always wiggle around here, shift your hips left and right, sink further back into it and coming out of it. And then on the upper body, it's okay to work the lats and shoulders. Child's pose can be a good deep stretch if you really stretch the arms out, or it can just be a comfortable place to reset between poses. Okay. We're gonna go back to our saddle pose. This is the tall saddle. And we're gonna go to the opposite side now. Again, if you notice differences, one side is tighter than the other. It's very normal. Unless you've really maintained your mobility well, you don't have a lot of clients who don't have some. For example, for me, it's a lot harder to get my right shoulder back and my right hand up further than it was on the opposite side. So go ahead and settle in here, guys. Stick to your breathing. 5 seconds in, 5 seconds out, 1 minute. Awesome, guys. All right. Coming out of our poses slower than I just did, hopefully. gonna go ahead and do a couple of long pigeon poses. All right, so we'll start with the left side. Pigeon is a great pose for the IT bands, hips, lower back. If you notice, my hips are in line with the ground. The biggest temptation on this pose is to drop this back hip down so that you can push your chest on the ground and look cool like everyone in yoga class. The problem with that is once these hips come out of alignment, you're losing the stretch, guys. This leg is at about a 45, wherever's comfortable for you. My back knee, my right knee is flat on the ground. And I can lengthen the stretch. Timer starts now, by the way. I can lengthen the stretch by pushing back on that back knee. But for my left hip to touch the ground, I'm just not ready to get there yet. So I purposely think about putting a little bit of my weight on that right hip. I've got a great stretch all along my left side, my oblique, the IT band. And if this hip ends up touching the ground, that's great. If it doesn't, that's fine too. Go ahead and settle in. Go ahead and settle in here. We've got about 2.5 more minutes left. Over time, as the chest slowly comes toward the ground, you will notice a deeper stretch in this hip and the IT band that runs on the side of your leg from the hip to the knee. About a minute left, guys. Awesome. All right. Go ahead and transition to the other side. Right leg out. Yeah. This one's gonna be fun. This is the side I've almost rehabbed that injury on. The back's a lot better, just the hip's still tight. All right. Getting into our position. Timer starts now, guys. Uncomfortable, I'm focusing on my breath, and I'm understanding and reminding myself how valuable it is to remain in control of my breathing and to not listen to when my body says stop. It sounds crazy, within reason, but when my body wants to quit and my mind says this is uncomfortable, I let myself know this is where I choose to be, and I'm happy to do this work. This is where I want to be, being uncomfortable. This process, this skill comes with time, guys. It takes consistency and work like everything else that's worthwhile in life. I do these videos with you too because my mobility is not even that great at all, so this should encourage you. I've come a long way in a few years. I'd rather than have somebody with perfect mobility. Just know that I'm going through this with you. pose, not fighting it, softening in the areas that are tight, thinking about softening. Breathing through the discomfort, guys. About a minute and a half left. Hang in there. About 25 seconds left, guys. All right. If you ended with that hip a lot closer to the ground, maybe you started up here and ended here. That was the whole point of that pose. Great job, that's not an easy pose. All right, for our final pose, I'm gonna do 2 minutes here in a puppy dog pose. This is just like our child's pose. Oh, I say just like. Very similar to our child's pose, except that you're gonna keep the hips all the way up rather than sitting back on the feet. I don't know which way is gonna give you a better view, but 2 minutes. You should have a 90 here, shins parallel to the ground, perpendicular to the ground. Reach the hands all the way out, guys. Forehead on the ground. You don't want the armpits on the ground unless you have that kind of mobility. This is going to stretch the lats and the rear shoulders and all of the shoulders really well. 2 minutes, starting now. If you want a deeper stretch, walk your hands out further. Arch your back, that's fine. You can even get your chin or your chest on the ground if you've got good mobility. Maintaining the legs in the same position, letting the torso come down. Arms all the way out, getting a good stretch in the lats. Almost done. All right. So coming out of that, the last thing that I do And if you follow through this routine, you'll really enjoy this. You deserve this as well. Lie down for the rebound. Palms up, palms down. Lie down. Completely relax. Let everything go. Just breathe in and out deeply. And let the breathing return to normal after a little while of breathing in and out deeply and slowly. I'm going to cut the timer off. Please enjoy 4 or 5 minutes of rebound time. Practicing, relaxing, not reacting emotionally, dealing with anything, even this incessant beeping that's been coming out of the storage room, power room this entire time. See you next time.